Of course, like even with Marlboro, like there was like successful marketing campaigns even before that. Like back in the, I think it was the 20s, there was a huge propaganda campaign with like that ran alongside the suffrage movement in the U.S. To popularize smoking with women specifically. Um, I took a communications class back in college uh, for my first degree, and we actually did like an in-depth study on propaganda. And this was, let me see if I can bring it up actually. The Torches of Freedom, that's what it was called. Let's see here. It was called the Torches of Freedom. This was during like the suffrage movement, and it was an idea. It was like a huge marketing slash propaganda campaign to somehow convince women to start smoking in order to drive cigarette sales, because like up until this point most people that smoked were men, and they're like, hey, we could target like the idea of women smoking and run it alongside women's freedom. And so it's kind of bizarre to look at this like from like a modern day point of view, because if you think about it, like they were basically targeting a vulnerable population that were just trying to gain the right to vote and gain like actual citizen rights in the US. They were being targeted with a very unhealthy addiction as a means of expressing freedom. So it's actually like it's really interesting. Like when we studied this in our communications class back in college, it was really interesting. But it's just crazy. There have been several successful marketing campaigns in at least U.S. history specifically for smoking. Like the most well-known one, of course, is like the Marlboro Man, which convinced a lot of underage kids to smoke because it was projected in a way to look cool.